right, ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks for coming. Thanks for being here with us. If I could just get everyone's attention over this way, we'll begin the festivities by welcoming up Mayor Tim Burke.
Hi, everybody. Great party here, a lot of good people. You know, this is a very important election for us at Dunmore here. We have 4 good candidates right there on that fence, so we need all 4 of them in there, so someone can make a change. And our first speaker is our controller. We definitely need in there, Mr. Andy Genovese.
Don't run away, stay right. This guy, we owe an awful lot to this guy here. He showed the people of Dunmore what it's like to be a real gentleman. What he's done for this town, the fighting, both the landfill, within the council. Sorry to lose him, but we know he's with us.
Thanks, Andy.
So I can't thank you enough. Don't get nervous, I have a piece of paper. My son said you start drifting anymore. And it's all big friends, look, I'm all right through this. Trip, thank you for inviting me. As Timmy said, this is a very important election. We're at a crossroads in this town, and we need to correct it now, we'll never be able to do it. Our previous mayor and his entourage would walk around constantly chastising the other opponents. They've lost the sensitivity to the voter. They don't want to listen to the voter anymore. You see in the newspaper countless times of their political actions. The previous mayor wanted to get in a fist fight with all the people over the landfill at the community center. That's not how the town's supposed to be run. You see Timmy, you didn't see him walking around with 4 or 5 guys all the time, and you go to say something and they're yelling back at you. We're human beings, we want to be treated that way. They want to bring up the age, where you're born, the school attended. We're all Dunmoreans. And I found out when I was 9 years old that I wasn't born in Dunmore, I was born in Scranton. And that's where all the hospitals were. So, you know, and we're a proud community. We're proud of when we see Carmela Maddaloni and Allie Gallo on Channel 16, when we say, hey, they're from Dunmore. And that's how we live our life. Elected officials, they're public servants. They're not pirates. They're not people per se, that they're not bad people. They're just caught up in the power. The power's gone to their heads. And should never be the case. They're expected to provide public safety, keep the roads good repair, and listen to the people of the town. I don't like what I see. I hope most of those people get elected, but it's gotten so bad lately that I just can't stand to see what's going on. We are thrilled to have these candidates. We had Trip, and thank you for having this rally. Catherine, Max, myself, that are going to bring a change to this town like there's never been before. And the whole time when I kept talking about them, I said, people need to realize what kind of candidates they are. How can we get them to connect, something that they're going to resonate with them? And I thought about our own Dunmore alma mater. And I'm not going to sing it because all these dogs will start barking. So, but as it goes, it's Dear Dunmore, thy honor stands in the hands of thy sons and daughters, safe in the hands. So true. There they are. They're our sons and daughters. That was an oath we took, and everybody here knows it, and it means so much to us. Yes, it talks about the students and the athletes and winning victories, but it goes on. We will strive with our might, by following name to exalt. We will sacrifice self to aim, and united in heart and hand will achieve only deeds to add to our fame. And that's all what it's all about. We don't want to be reading about what's going on and all the things that our council not telling us. Now, Janet and Beth, they need help. And that's why we need to get Trip and Catherine on there to work along. If we don't, it's not going to happen. They lied to us about the money in the sewer authority. And it's controller. I'm down there once or twice a week, and I go in and say, that money's still there. Well, everybody disappears. And they threaten all the borough workers. And there's, You'll see signs out there, we know signs don't vote. People are being forced to put the signs there because they're being threatened. But, you know, we hear good things. And when we talk about the alma mater, we have all our athletes, our band, our cheerleaders, our drill squad, bringing so much joy to the town, and that we have to have what they're doing to diminish it. So we want to keep doing that. The other thing I want to talk about is that all the other candidates, they're running on their own. They're going to ask for one vote for themselves. They're not going to ask for anybody else. We need you to vote for Trip and Catherine. Now, when you go in there, you're going to see it's going to say, vote not more than 3. You don't have to vote 3. You vote 2, that means the other candidates have to get 2 more votes, the highest and higher. So I'm asking if you would just vote for Trip and Catherine. That's where the change is going to be. Where the third person falls, not in our hands. Again, they've all flopped on the landfill. It's time to turn around and get things moving. We talk about the alma mater. The other thing is get things on Facebook. Have your kids sing it so people hear it. The other thing is before you leave, if you walk about 50 feet that way, you're going to see a big mountain. Maybe you can take a picture of their signs because they love it so much, Mount Trashmore, and we could superimpose it on there and get it out on Facebook. They'd like to have their picture on, Mount Trashmore. Our motto should be less trash, more cash, and safety. So again, we need Trip. Just take a look. Elections don't start one day. The families that they come from, they've been part of this town for years. They've been doing things for years. And these candidates are well qualified. The other people who've been out there, they've had their chance. What did they do? They're still not telling us what they're going to do. So, and they don't care. All they want to do is get elected so they can get even with all the people that they thought voted for somebody else. So on behalf of myself, Trip, Max, Catherine, please, we're on the 50-yard line. Stay behind us. Keep pushing our back. And if we do, we're going to cross that finish line. Good job, Andy.
Okay, our next speaker is our next mayor, who's not going to give up the fight on the landfill, and he's going to work for everybody in the town. Doesn't matter what your last name is. He's going to be there for all of us. Here he is, Max Conway.
All right. Thank you, everybody, for coming today. Thank you to the O'Malley family for putting this great rally on. I've been knocking on doors the last 3 or 4 weeks, and it seems like everybody either went to school with Trip, was taught by Trip, is related to Trip. It's nonstop. And but the one thing I keep hearing about Trip is, in one way or another, he was always one of their favorite teachers, one of their best friends, and that's I think what we need in Borough Council with people like Trip and with Catherine too. Just people that have respect for Dunmore, And I think some current people in power really lost that. I'm going around talking to people nonstop, and it really just seems like Dunmore lost its way at some point. I don't know when that was. I don't know when it became about just giving everything to one guy. But I think we really need to do something. I think now is the time for that change. My Uncle Jack told me a good quote the other day. Great communities are built by old men who plant trees but know they'll never sit in the shade. And I think that's something that we really need to keep in mind for all these kids here too. We really need to start making change. We really need to start now. And with Catherine, Trip, myself, Andy, I think all us together with Vince, Beth, Janet, I think we can really make Dunmore what it should be. And I think that's a family-oriented place. We want to raise our kids. We want everybody to stick around. We want people to come back. And I think we're ready to do that. So thank you all for coming, and hope you vote for us. Thank you.
Maybe me. Beth is next.
All right, let's welcome up Beth Zangardi.
Hello, everybody. I'm Beth Zangardi, and I am here to introduce Catherine Helving. A few things. Catherine is a founding member of Friends of Lackawanna, Yes, exactly. And Catherine and I have walked door to door together. And just a few things, anybody who knows me knows I'm a talker, but I had to leave her behind a few times. So I'm moving on. I'm going to the next house, and there she is talking and talking. So hopefully we'll be in good company with that. A few things we did talk about when I first met Catherine. I said, you know, it's not that easy. It's hard. You have to stand by yourself and for yourself. And she said, but we're all going to stand for Dunmore. And I was like, yes, you're right, we are. So with Catherine, Trip, Janet, Max, me, Vince, we're all individual thinkers who will fight for and pursue the best that Dunmore can be and make it better than it is today. Another thing Catherine and I were talking about was, she said she has been fighting for Dunmore for 7 years as a member of Friends of Lackawanna. And she's just making it official. She's going to continue to fight to make Dunmore better, now officially as a council member. So I am privileged to now call Catherine a good, strong leader for Dunmore. Welcome to council, Catherine McElrogan.
Thank you, Beth, for that kind introduction. I don't know who was talking more. I think that it may have been a tie. I would like to thank Trip for including me in his rally, his family. I've known his family for years, and I'm excited for the candidates that I'm running with. It's been a pleasure canvassing. I've been out with Trip and Max, and people seem to be really excited about the change that we're talking about and just giving us feedback that they're tired of what's been going on in Dunmore. And one thing that we've been trying to emphasize is the importance of having both good candidates on council and as the mayor. There has to be a cohesiveness between the two of them. And I know Tim has fought with council, and they haven't backed him, and council's had to go to the mayor and they didn't back. And I think it's the three of us winning will really make a huge difference. And I appreciate everybody's support, and people have been very kind and supportive, and I definitely could not do this by myself. I'm not technologically savvy. I struggle knocking on doors, so I appreciate everyone's kindness and support, and it's really been a pleasure, and I hope we can bring this home, and I would appreciate your vote.
Hi everybody, and thanks for coming today. I really appreciate the crowd coming in to see for this occasion. I'm really honored to be able to introduce this man that I have known for many years, and since he was a young person. I've known him since he was a skinny 7th grader, encouraging his friends, to take flight. Since he was a talented high schooler, named elected president of the whole student body. When he was a young man just starting his career as a much beloved educator at Dunmore High, and finally as a great husband and father who has chosen to serve the community of Dunmore. I just want to acknowledge his amazing family, his wife Lauren, his mom and dad, Willie and Nancy Kelly O'Malley, his brother, his sisters, aunts, uncles, friends, and neighbors. But most of all, I would really like to acknowledge his 3 little boys, Will, Rory, and Miles. Those 3 little boys are why we're here today. What could be more important than the future of the children of our town? What could be more important to any of us than that? I will tell you that Trip is passionate about Dunmore and the people who live here. And he will always put Dunmore's interests above anything else. I don't have to tell you, it's no secret, that for too long we have lived under the cloud of influence and special interests. Now we have a chance, at long last, to change really the history of Dunmore, to make it a place where we don't have to worry about the terrible smell and what it's doing to our health. And we don't have to worry about what contaminants are going into the air, soil, and water. Electing Trip O'Malley, Catherine Oben, and for Borough Council, and Max Conway for mayor will finally give Dunmore the environmental justice it deserves. Today, for all of you, all we need is your vote on May 18th. That's the most important thing. And right now, so I thank you so much for being here, for taking the time out of your schedules to care about our town. And it's my great, great pleasure to introduce William Trip O'Malley, our next borough councilman.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for coming. It just means the world to me, and I know it does to Catherine and to Max as well, and Andy Genovese. But before I start, I want to thank some of our great borough leaders for being here today. Let's give a round of applause for Borough Controller Andy Genovese, our great Councilwoman Beth Zangardi. She does a great job on council, working for the people of Dunmore. Councilman Vince Amico, another leader who works for you. Let's give a round of applause for our outstanding Councilwoman Janet Breyer. She's been with me from the beginning, and I couldn't do this without her. She's absolutely amazing, and she's great for this borough. And Tim Burke, our great mayor. A mayor who stood up for all of us. A mayor who cares about all 14,000 of us. He didn't just talk the talk, he walked the walk. And Max Conway is going to be that kind of mayor for you. I'm running for borough council because I love this town. My wife Laura and I decided to raise our family here because it's the best small town in America. Our sons, we want our sons Will, Rory, and Miles to enjoy the same great little town that I've had the opportunity to grow up in. My parents, Nancy and Willie O'Malley, love you. My brother Michael, my sister Kelly and her husband PJ and their daughter Colleen, my sister Bridget, they all live here. As do my sister-in-law and brother-in-law, Danny and Joanna Badurka and their sons, Peyton and Adam. We're all proud Dunmorians. My future brother-in-law, Jude McDonough, he's an honorary Dunmorian. I couldn't imagine living anywhere else. And I'm so thankful that my parents chose this great place for us. There's a lot to be proud of here. We have the best services around. Our police department, our fire department, our DPW, they work really hard and they do a great job. We have a wonderful park system. Places like this, Monroe Park, my neighborhood park, Sherwood, the Great Shout Stadium, where my sons play soccer, and many Dunmore High School athletes play baseball and softball. There's a lot to be proud of. We have a great school district where I've had the honor to be an educator for the last 22 years. If you've had me in the classroom, you've heard me say many times that we live in the best little town in America. And I want to keep it that way. Now, I decided to run for borough council because of the landfill expansion and the inaction of council members to protect our clean air and our water. I think a mountain of New York and New Jersey trash that'll grow taller than the Statue of Liberty is a terrible idea, and one that could be harmful to our health and our safety. If elected, I will always fight for you, and I will always keep your health and your safety as my #1 priority. Our borough streets are in deplorable condition. They've never been worse. Between the potholes and the paved cuts, they're not very welcoming to people coming into our town and for us who are here every day. If elected, I will work on having a comprehensive street paving plan, and we'll hold those responsible for the paved cuts. I want our streets to be welcoming to the people instead of a hazard to stay away from. We're $18 million in debt, and we've been plugging our budgets with the money that we received from the sewer authority sale. Out of that $18 million, we're down to $4.2 million left. And that money's going to be gone soon. So I promise that I will help to pass responsible budgets. Ladies and gentlemen, we need to elect Catherine Oven to council. And we need to elect Max Conway as our next mayor. And I'll work with them and our current members of council to keep Dunmore as the best little town in America for generations to come. I humbly ask for your support for all of us, for Andy Genovese, Catherine Oven, Max Conway, and myself. And I can't wait to get to work for you and the 14,000 relatives and friends that we have living here. All proud Dunmorians. I can't wait to get to work for you. So thanks again for coming. I really appreciate it, and I can't wait to work for you. And I hope I can make you all proud to be a councilman of this fine borough. Thanks.
All right, one more time. Put your hands together for Chip, Max, and Catherine. Thank you so much, everyone. Spread the word. Post about this event on social media. Find out if we have anything else coming up. And stick around. There's plenty of food, snacks inside. We'll be playing some music for a little bit longer. Enjoy the day.